devolution project, whose role becomes more and more vital as the full implication of our constitutional dispensation becomes defined. Whether and how we support, respect, uphold, and defend devolution matters. In the Declaration of the Republic, the Constitution describes Kenya as a sovereign republic founded on the national values and principle of governance that freedom and democracy depend on a robust economy, which can provide adequate resources to facilitate the fulfillment of various obligations of state and actualize the rights of citizens. Economic development is therefore a fundamental premise for the realization of our constitutional dispensation, and it is right to see the Constitution as outlining both the ends and the means of our broader freedom struggle. We want freedom in order to achieve shared prosperity, but we also need prosperity to guarantee and ensure freedom. The Constitution of Kenya 2010 is a radical and the most comprehensive transformative achievement by the people of Kenya since the attainment of independence from the colonial rule. Within this radically transformational instrument, there can be no debate about the role of devolution as a fundamentally critical national value and principle of governance and the crown jewel on our constitutional dispensation. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that our country's fortunes, to a decisive extent, are dependent on how we manage the devolution of national power and resources. Devolution actually goes to our viability as a political community, stability as a nation, and sustainability as the collective socio-economic project of the people. My support for devolution, therefore, anchored on the understanding that the flourishing of our grassroots is a precondition to national economic transformation, and that bottom-up sharing of duties and benefits, obligations and rights is the fundamental common denominator of both the devolved system of governance and our bottom-up economic transformation agenda. While devolution is a national value that must inspire all our actions, devolved governments are the focal points of the devolution project, whose role becomes more and more vital as the full implication of our constitutional dispensation becomes defined. Whether and how we support, respect, uphold, and defend devolution matters. In the Declaration of the Republic, the Constitution describes Kenya as a sovereign republic founded on the national values and principle of governance referred to in Article 10. The first bundle of these values includes sharing and devolution of power. Article 6 describes our national territory in terms of counties and then emphasizes that the national and county levels of governments are distinct and interdependent and required to conduct their mutual relations on the basis of consultation and cooperation. This is the philosophical foundation of Chapter 11 of the Constitution, which sets out the framework of devolved governance in greater detail. Intergovernmental consultations and cooperation not only serves as a mechanism for reconciling the tensions arising from the two distinct yet interdependent levels of government, but it is also a framework to give devolution the best chance to deliver to the people. I believe in the power of intergovernmental relations to anchor devolution and also facilitate national socio-economic transformation. As the apex forum of intergovernmental relations, the National and County Government Coordination Summit must be seen in this light. My faith in the power of this forum as a force of national good is therefore absolute. I am therefore delighted to extend a warm welcome to all distinguished participants as we convene for the 10th National County Coordinating Summit, another important moment to reaffirm our commitment to the ideals of devolution through robust intergovernmental relations by the principle outlined in the Intergovernmental Relations Act of 2012. At the very onset, I wish to underscore that devolution remains as the cornerstone of effective service delivery. I recognize devolution as the optimal mechanism for delivering important services and implementing essential projects and programs in line with our bottom-up economic transformation agenda. At the same time, I am proud to note that my administration has made substantial progress in promoting devolution as a principle and value, pursuing it as a policy and strategic objective, and consolidating the gains of devolution, notably through the following interventions. For the first time since the advent of devolution, the National Treasury has endeavored to disperse all the allocations to counties as at the end of financial year 2022-2023. It was a difficult exercise, but I made a commitment, and I want to say, for the first time, we made sure that there were no outstanding monies that are owed to devolution at the end of the financial year. Consequently, the if-miss deadline was extended to allow county governments utilize the funds. To actualize my commitment to transfer all pending devolved functions, the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee has been tasked to undertake a detailed analysis of the functions as per the 4th schedule of the Constitution. The analysis entailed unbundling of functions and the identification of necessary legislative interventions necessary to facilitate the performance of the functions and provision of necessary resources. Accordingly, I have instructed IGRTC to thoroughly engage all relevant stakeholders in order to avoid conflicts and acrimonious litigation in court. I shall therefore require them to engage with the stakeholders for a further 2 months to validate and approve the reports, therefore, before they are gazetted. The Office of the Attorney General, and I'm happy the Attorney General is here, is also directed to work very closely with IGRTC on this matter. Intergovernmental collaboration continues to be indispensable in the implementation of county industrial and aggregation parks, a critical enabler of transformation